Welcome back. We are here for Hearts of Camelot, Once and Forever, Episode 4. So, just going to ask for a previously on from each of our players to recall what they remember from last session. And then I will ask a question about going into the breaking of the morning's fast and what's going to be coming from the knight in green and what his request will be. Okay? So let's go ahead and start with the what you guys remember. Yep. Whomever wants to go first.
So, one thing I remember about our previous episode was that we were in the Great Hall, and Sir Granit of Geddrick had his hands stuck in the wall. I believe Sir Elio was speaking to a parakeet, and Ydelles wandered off to explore to get more information about the hosts, the master of the estate. And that wandering led him down a corridor of mysterious chambers that, of course, he was curious enough to explore. The one that he spent the most time in was initially, I believe, had helmets hanging from chains or something from the ceiling. And these were of knights from around the beyond where we're from and other places, but two he recognized. But it transformed into sort of a moor or some sort of area outside the fog. And it stirred within him the need to do something as the bodies of the knights formed under the helms. So he decided to at least begin burying the knights, starting with the two that he had known when he was young as a squire, perhaps, or maybe a little bit beyond that. And the host showed up, and they had a conversation about things, and then he was let go. The other thing I remember is Ydelles cannot whistle, and so he neighs in response to Sir Ilio's call. Rob, what do you remember?
Um, See, yeah, we had dinner. We had that palace. The servants had brought food that was almost drawn from whatever we wished, and had given Adele's like some recipe of potatoes and turnips that was from his past. Um, right, I remember Sir Grant trying to get the knight to talk about what exactly the nature of the favor was and not getting a whole lot of success. Um, oh yeah, and there was that big fight with the fountain, Sir Granite in the fountain, uh, where he eventually turned the gnome and the nymph um, against each other. Um, and I think at the very end we had seen like the silhouette of the stag, the golden stag, and we you had asked for Adele had asked for permission to stay, sleep outside, and he and Elio went out and something about a star floating down and rested upon the silhouette of the stag. And I think that's where we ended. So I don't know what all happened there. Uh, yeah. Mhm. Chris.
Okay, I remember I fought a fountain until it eventually freed my hands from the wall, which are still made of stone. We met Sir Bertilak in the dinner hall. It was we all ate a meal that we remember, like our favorite meal we've ever had, I think it was. There was something supernatural about the meal. Uh Sir Elio fought a bird. Ydelles danced naked in the starlight. And that's it. That's all I got that hasn't been covered.
Now, Sir Granit, do you remember if you had stayed in the manor house or if you had gone out with the others, like, kind of joined the others
Oh, I had
outside?
gone out
Okay.
for sure.
Okay. The reason I ask is that I believe that all three of you, whether you are all together or maybe you wandered out a little bit further, but you're still on the grounds of this Green Knight, I think you awaken to leaves falling on you, um, maybe rustling in a kind breeze. And you just notice that while the leaves look uh, brittle and rust colored, but also colorful between the oranges and the reds and the yellows, for whatever reason, the grass that you have slept on is greener than emeralds and rich and deep. And as you awaken, I think you all remember that the Green Knight was going to ask for a favor this morn in return for granting you such wonderful hospitality. I want to know, how are you feeling about this upcoming favor, this upcoming request? And what does it make you recall from your own memory of making a request, asking for a favor?
Well, Sir Granit remembers that he once had to pick up two wolves, charge them into a stone wall, and get his hands turned to stone. And they still are, which is going to make fulfilling this other favor very hard. It's not very often that he has to make deals with beings he's unfamiliar with, but it's becoming increasingly common on this journey. Oh, I'm done.
Sir Elio, Ydelles?
I mean, my expectation is that the group that Sir Bertilak will behave as a true knight. Um, I don't know that I think much of his hospitality as his house has attacked my fellow knight. Um, and I don't even know about the things that happened to Adele. Um, but I guess the last time a favor was kind of impressed upon him was when there had been that person pretending to be a saint who had injured Prince Edmund, um, and I think the princess um, had maybe promised to stay by the prince's side, um, and unknowingly she that led to my relationship with the prince. Um, so sometimes people ask for favors if they don't realize the consequence of them. That's what I'm thinking.
For Ydelles, I think the one thing that pops into mind, it's not the most recent, um, but I think why it comes in, rushes in, is because of the stew that he had last night, and he remembers being pretty young, pretty small. Um, he was always large for his age group compared to the other children. But when he was small, he remembered a moment. It was very quiet, and I think like even the weather that we're feeling outside right now is a little bit reminiscent. In which case, there was more of a sound than a vision of a woman, large, like strong voice saying to him, Ydelles, I want you to promise me that you will never look for me. And if you keep this promise, nothing bad will come to your father. And then after that, this presence, this whoever, is no longer in his life.
I think as you slowly rise, I think you see Palace coming towards you three, um, and she has a picnic basket with her, and she will wordlessly put the picnic basket down, and she will flap open a blanket, a large blanket, and she will lay out from the picnic basket steaming platters that are covered over in towels, and she will uncover them and show you what is essentially a sumptuous breakfast, basically. Things that you would think of that would greet you in the morning if you were back at the large household. And so she says, "Oh, I hope you had a nice rest out here. It seems to be wonderfully clement this morning, and my master, Sir Bertilak, will expect you back inside when you have had your fill. You can come into the fountain room. It's been fixed, and do a little bit of a freshening up, maybe. If you need to have further preparations, you are welcome to come into the bathing chambers. I will show you where they are if you'd like. But I will leave you to your repast, and I will wait just inside the back door if you have need of me. Enjoy your breakfast. And this is your opportunity to talk amongst yourselves, and if you so choose, discuss what you will be doing.
So I have a out of character question. So Ydelles saw Aurora last night,
Mm-hmm.
and I think some of the audio cut out when we were doing the recap. So I was curious to hear from Rod and Chris what their characters saw. If they saw Aurora or the heart or something else. Is it him outside?
I don't think I saw anything. I don't remember seeing anything, certainly.
Interesting.
Huh. I think maybe because of Sir Elio's experience with a unicorn, he has more of an ability to recognize, like, just the otherworldliness, um, presence that Aurora had. But I think when she came, he would have left to give Adele privacy, or he didn't want to intrude.
So Sir Ilio saw like a humanoid form.
It's a good question. I think I think so, but no distinct features, like a silhouette, but not a silhouette of like a very dark silver.
Yes.
Yeah.
Cool.
Very cool.
And what did you say that you saw? Ydelles? Some form of... Excuse me. A celestial being? A star?
I don't know that Ydelles has talked to Sir Granit about Aurora.
Oh, then...
No, that's fine.
Then the question would be phrased differently.
Uh-huh.
But essentially, why this talk of visions? Did you see something of the stag, perhaps?
Ydelles is a little pensive, but he's got this mirthful smile playing. And he says, Sir Granit, you are a sorcerer, are you not?
I am a knight of Elsfire first, and that is the only title that I claim with any pride.
This is, forgive me, but this is not about pride. This is about our wholeness as a living being in this world. Are we not more than the activities that we play at?
That's quite the question, sir. I would say that, of course we are. But it is so infrequent is the chance to realize this about ourselves, even as we may see it as plain as the features of their face on another person. You call me a sorcerer. You find what I am able to do strange. I think it is
No,
as natural as talking to you.
I find you to be natural as you are. I may not understand all of the facets of it, and I may never understand it. However, my experience last night was one, as you say, that inspires me. It rekindles my hope for the future. And to give it a name is difficult sometimes. But for me, it is the manifestation of hope and of what the world could be.
It gives me heart to know that it visited you last night, then. Bodes well for our escape from this place. For the one thing I certainly did not see last night was an exit from these grounds.
Well, we shall dine, and we shall speak with the master of the house, and we shall be on our way.
Should hope it is so simple.
And I think Ydelles will turn to his two companions and say, "Did you both sleep well last night?" And then begin eating.
No. When I did finally sleep, it was restful enough, I suppose, but I patrolled the walls of this castle, the walls surrounding this castle. There is not so much as a gate that I could find. There is something afoot here that I cannot name. It does not allow me to rest easy. Few things are so strange as to be beyond my ken. This is one.
I found sleep quick enough, and yet it seemed not to last for more than a heartbeat. I had barely closed my eyes before the sun awoke me. Yet I feel rested enough. I had no dreams.
Likewise.
I love chat.
I
So,
feel like we all realized that we just talked about our feelings and stuff, and now we're just like, okay, good talk.
exactly. Well, I mean, like, you have a steaming, steaming delicious breakfast in front of you.
Exactly.
So, no, I get it. It's fine. But yeah. You finish the breakfast, I would imagine, and does anybody do anything further than head towards the fountain in the great hall and, like, I don't know, like splash water on your face, like kind of like wash a little? Like, does anybody do the full bathing chamber thingy that Palace has offered?
I'm not going near that fountain.
What? What'd you say?
I'm not going near that fountain to try
Okay.
to kill Sir Granit.
I don't, yeah.
Everything I need I have in my water skins, and I dare not trust anything else.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
Well, Ydelles is like doesn't need to bathe for a while because he's been blessed by some off-world entity or something, so he's good.
Okay.
If there's a river,
Angelic light does little for the odors, I find.
I mean, it's just like radiation. He'll be fine. maybe in 20,
Reiterate.
30 years he'll lose his hair and,
Oh my gosh.
you know,
He can
yeah,
take it. He's
yeah,
part giant.
exactly. I mean, space radiation, it's everywhere.
No big deal.
Yeah, it's fine.
I mean, if anything, if we're gonna get real scientific about it, I mean, like you expose yourself to a space creature, I guess,
Yeah.
every night. So or almost every night. So
As often as is half humanly possible, yes.
right, exactly.
Yes.
Okay.
Odell will make his way to where the Green Knight wants to receive us.
Yeah, and it'll probably be in the one of the chambers beyond the Great Hall.
The receiving chamber, perhaps,
Yeah,
of this castle.
yeah. Well, I mean, she'll direct you. Like Palace will be there waiting to see if, like, any one of you wanted to do anything else for morning ablutions, and then, like, if not, then she will just, like, lead you as she has before to the main room, the receiving room, beyond the Great Hall. And I can't remember if I described it earlier, so in case I hadn't, I'm just gonna go with it. And I think you see here in this room, it's kind of got like the chessboard type of tiles on the floor, so alternating black and white. And then at the end of this, on the farther end of this room, high ceilinged room, you see what looks like a gnarled throne, like a chair with a high back and like kind of like roots and leaves like wrapped around and in it. Possibly even like it might even look a little bit like a hollowed out tree to create like a seat for someone. And before this throne like chair stands the Green Knight, dressed in his armors of what look like uh, rustling leaves, but remaining as green as emeralds. And in his one hand, kind of hefted onto the floor, is his great axe, also of a deep green. Oh, oh there, my guests. I hope that you had a wonderful rest, and that you found delectable victuals at my table, both yesterday and this morning.
Yes, we did.
Good.
And of course, all served by the magnificent palace.
Yes, yes. If I hadn't already, I wanted to thank you all again for saving her, as these strange anomalies in the forest have sprung up, and it is good that you had come upon her and were able to bring her back safely. She is, as you say, magnificent and a blessing upon my manor. Well, without further ado, unless you had questions, and having partaken of my hospitality, there is that favor that I wanted to request of you all. He takes the axe and he will heft it into his other hand, and you see it is quite large. The head of this axe is probably the widest end is probably about 2 head sizes large. And He looks at it and then contemplates each of you and says, I prosper. I hold my lands by virtue of a blessing and a curse. My blessing is that I am able to protect my lands reasonably well, except for the anomalies that you saw. My curse is that I must request of any guests a particular favor of each of them if they decide to accept my hospitality in my household. And what that favor is I ask that you strike me down using my axe. And in a year's time, you allow me to do the same to you.
So Ydelles looks to his companions. First, he was shocked that Sir Granit didn't jump on the opportunity to ask questions.
Seems pretty self-explanatory to me.
And so, but so seeing none of them do anything, I think Ydelles steps forward and puts his hands out to receive the axe.
Ah, you, the brave, without a title yet to your name, and you are on your journey to earn that title, aren't you?
Yes. I think what we see him. Is the blade shiny?
Mm-hmm. It
I think we
gleams.
see his reflection in it, as if he's pondering which quest he's on right now. But I wouldn't have hope to complete this quest without my companions. And so your request is for each of us in turn to
Yes.
perform the act.
Yes.
And if I were to strike you down, wouldn't that be unfair for you to be struck down again and again? Wasn't once enough?
It is the terms of my curse. I have no control over whether it be one strike or many. It is a favor for a favor for a favor. And that is the terms.
And so 1 year henceforward from us striking you down, we would return and receive the same.
Yes. You can try to run, and I will tell you there have been many that have tried. But they always find their way back here.
Is there, and he's kind of glances at Sir Granit and Sir Elio. He says, are there any other phrases to the terms of this obligation that we should be aware of? Is this the full extent of the language?
No, he has told us all he can, I fear.
Yeah, he smiles and nods.
I have accepted to strike you down with your axe. And I think what we see is Ydelles, moves a couple things around and he stows the axe. But I did not say what happened today.
Hmm.
Interesting. Huh. And how do you expect to leave?
Well, there are the woods out there. There are tracks. I imagine. Follow the tracks.
So you would be indebted to striking me down until you complete your quest.
Well, as it seems, the quests are multiplying by the day. I have another quest in mind. Perhaps,
I
if
may.
if you'll entertain me, to sever the curse upon you.
And how do you propose to do that?
Well, my usual course of action is to find those who are smarter and more riskier than I, and kind of look over. Dell looks over his shoulder at his companions, and then we manage away.
You could, of course, at any time forswear these lands and be free.
But if I forswear these lands, who will be here to protect them? Who will be here to keep this place green? To keep this area growing still and safe? There be those that you have not seen out in the forest, perhaps here in the manor itself, but I protect them as well, just as I protect Palace and these rooms that live here in the manor. How can I let them go wild or unsecured?
I could perhaps step in for a short time.
As indeed could anyone.
Perhaps the guests you should be seeking are those who can help carry on the legacy and defense of all that is good here.
You would do that, but it means taking my place.
It is a wonderful place.
Though strange and lonely.
Not so lonely once you get to know.
No, far lonelier then.
I can try to walk away. I can, if you mean what you say, I can try.
Well, I cannot give you my word as an official knight as of yet. But should I complete my quest and return the heart alive to the princess, then perhaps. No, I vow. I vow to return and help you manage this estate and free you from this curse. I will leave my quest to be a knight.
And he just looks so confused, and he's just, but why? It is you who are seeming even more knightly than I, and yet you make this offer as if you are my equal. I'm gonna say at this point,
Do we need to make a roll?
yes. I feel like this is like totally doing battle right now because, you're trying to parlay slash like,
But he's not in my class.
right.
Oh, but
When
he
you
is.
when you
Oh, but
initiate
he may yet be.
whenever you initiate a battle with someone outside your social class, you
Yeah,
receive misfortune.
exactly.
Yeah, and I think I recall, if I recall correctly, last time when I had um, Sir Granit do this, I
Mhm.
think I had him at a like it was a it was at least a 3, I believe, when I set him. Um, yeah, so if your opponent is a higher level NPC, you roll with the appropriate virtue. So, I mean, if you're trying to, let's see, uh, agile, courteous, vigorous, or wise. If you're trying to prevail upon, I suppose, then that's courteous. So you would
Mhm.
have to roll with courteous for this.
Sure.
And then on a success, you don't lose outright. You would
Mhm.
choose one of those things. Um,
Did we reduce his
oh,
by
hmm.
1
I
last time?
I think I think you did.
I
Hold on.
think because of the information from the parrot or something else.
Yes, yes, you're right. So, okay, so he's a 2. So he's a 2 now. Um, trying to think.
So yeah, this is definitely causing a problem from one of my dilemmas. So I'm going to get a +1 to this roll, I think.
Okay. Okay.
All right. Because I'm going to basically say I'm going to complete getting the animal to court, but after that, I'm not sticking around to be a knight.
Oh man. Okay.
All right. So, okay. So, am I rolling with disadvantage or what?
Um,
I'm not sure where I'm at with this.
no, because it doesn't say. Let's see. I mean, basically, it's just giving directions for if it's a higher level NPC, you're going to roll with the virtue that's appropriate. On a success, you don't lose outright. You get to choose one of those things. But because you are going to be battling somebody that is above your
Mm-hmm.
your weight class, basically,
Mm-hmm.
you automatically get misfortune anyway.
Sure.
Okay.
Okay. So, I have a +1 for courteous and a +1 for my dilemma.
Okay.
So 2d6 plus 2.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And looks like one of our companions has a backup plan. And I loved what was discussed last time about Chris might be playing more of a villainous character.
I'm
I would,
telling you, it just feels
so
like it.
so this is what I might counter with that. At least from like the sort of scope of like epic poetry.
Yeah.
Like Odysseus, he by today's standards, he'd be like a criminal, like a
Yes.
master. But they valued his cunning, and I kind of
Yes.
see that happening with Sir Granit, his cunning.
Yes.
All right, so let's see what we get here. All right. Okay, so I
Y'all
rolled.
don't even know.
It's not a smart plan, even better.
Okay.
So I rolled a 7 with a +2. That's a 9.
Okay.
And if I spend one of my destiny things, does that help?
Yeah, that puts you on the same footing as
Oh, okay.
him.
I think this feels very epic. So if that makes sense to
Okay.
you, does that work?
Well, when you say epic, are you
No, I'm just saying like this scene,
uh
like if this was in a movie or something, it feels like this is a really dramatic moment.
Oh, okay.
So that's why I feel like spending the destiny makes sense here.
Oh, yes. Yes, yes, yes.
Okay.
So I think yeah, I mean I think this puts you on equal footing with him, you know?
Yeah.
So hold on.
Yeah,
Let me
he
just
even admitted that he was feeling a shift.
yeah. No, I think because he's willing to take to take the hit, to be able to do this.
Okay.
Because at any time you can mark a box of destiny to increase your level by 1, pick an option from the list of level up options, prevent more fortune from occurring, redo a roll, and mark a harmed virtue. So literally, I mean, you can spend as much destiny as you want to do any of these things. So you're just at this point just increasing your level by 1 to be able to be his match, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so what that does is you have succeeded. You still get misfortune anyway because of the 9, but
Sure.
you are performing the battle move as an equal. So give me a second. I just want to go back into that rule. Okay, so if your opponent is an equal level NPC, roll that virtues. On a success, you prove their match. Okay, so now you get to choose from that list. Victory is total but costly. Your opponent is slain, disgraced, converted, blah, blah, whatever. Mark 1 destiny. Your victory is temporary, but you've learned much about your opponent. Your opponent does whatever, reduce their level by 1, so then he would be below you at that point, and then mark 1 XP. And then you battle to a draw but remain undaunted. Take +1 forward. Okay? For your next roll, basically. So, on the 9, you'd pick one.
Yeah, I feel your victory is total but costly.
Mm-hmm.
I feel converted might be the closest word that's in that list.
Okay.
Like I've changed his mind and his will a little bit. So I mark another destiny as a result of that.
Mm-hmm.
Is what
Yes.
it says. Okay.
Yes.
All right. I will do
Yeah,
so.
you marked a thing of destiny to raise yourself up to his level, and now you get another destiny because you have essentially converted him.
Yep. Cool.
You would do this.
Elio's getting ready to. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Okay. So before we deal with Elio's heartbreak, I think you would do this for me. You don't know me. Why?
You have shared your character, and isn't a knight nothing more than the virtues that they live out? Even if we can never attain perfection, striving toward them is what I learned was part of being a knight.
You honor and shame me, sir. Regardless of title. He will take your hands in his... I'm trying to remember if I described him as larger than life, but I mean, regardless, I think there is this sense of largeness to him, regardless of size compared to you. And he actually takes your hands in his and just... I honor this decision. I will be free, but at the cost of knowing I am condemning someone in my place. I hope you will not live to regret your decision. And then he releases your hands.
This is one of the few. This is one of the few times Ydelles actually lets out like a laugh. He's like, "Good sir, I've lived many a regret already, but this act, I hope, will bring good fortune to the land."
As do I. And I think at this point, and this is where you can definitely endure heartbreak, I think at this point, as the Green Knight takes his hands away, I think the leaves of his scales, leaves of his armor start to fall. But instead of falling like metal and clashing and clanging to the floor, I think it's almost like the rustle of leaves as they fall off, and he wears he looks like it fades into robes of penitence or something. I mean, yeah, basically almost sackcloth. And you will see Ydelles, you both see Ydelles leathers, armors take on the aspect of leaves as well. Maybe not green, but kind of like that mid color of like green rust, all that kind of stuff. But yes, you will see that aspect go into his armor. And so, Sir Elio, you're seeing this. Tell me how you're feeling. God dang it.
I think he's been too stunned to intervene until now. And then the Green Knight says, as do I, when he was, and Elio will say, well, I do not. What is this madness, Ydelles? Do you know what you're saying? You do not even fully understand the nature of this curse that you're accepting.
So, tell me what you will do as you're experiencing this emotional turmoil. Tell me what you'll do if you lose control. Remember, like melodramatic. Go for it.
I'm gonna try to break that axe.
Oh shit. Oh boy. Okay, so
Bring it.
So you are going to roll the 2d6 plus your unfulfilled destiny point boxes. All right. So adding your number of unchecked destiny boxes to the roll result. And then on the success, you don't lose control and you take +1 forward for your next roll. So.
All right.
And does this, whoa, before you do that, does this
Right.
affect your dilemma? One of your dilemmas? No. Doesn't look like it.
I would argue that it could, because if I come back here, I can't help. Did I read that right? About helping you with. Unless. I'm going to just leave it up to you, however you want to do that, Red. I don't want to butt in, so I'm going to shut up.
Right. So just look for.
The only reason I'm asking is because it's like I want to say that if you do act, like if it does affect your dilemma, I mean, like, it conceivably, it has you exerting heart, and then you can add a +1 to this roll if you think it does. If you don't, then obviously that doesn't go off. But I just wanted to pull that up. Okay. Trying to give you a fighting chance, man.
I mean, the role is heavily favoring me, right?
Okay.
Because
well, I'm just making sure.
You mathematically cannot fail.
Okay.
For the record.
Unless I roll 2 ones, right? Is that the rule?
Yes. Which we don't hope for. Okay.
Right. So I mean, I think I could make an argument that it applies, but I'm not.
Okay.
Even going to. I think this is just. I don't want my friend to fall under the curse.
Okay, got it. All right. So 2d6 plus your unchecked destiny.
Man, I don't even know how my epic move fits into here. We could say it doesn't.
Let me see.
I mean, it's either +1 or -1.
I was grasping bonds in your dilemma, or one bond makes a quest of you. So because bonds roll destiny, so +1 on the roll in pursuit of this quest.
I'll say it's a -1.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Okay.
All right. Let's see. Well, 11.
Okay. All right. So you majorly succeed in your heartbreak. Okay, so don't forget to mark off somewhere, guys. I mean, like, if you have battled, if you're enduring heartbreak, you do get a point of XP. All right. Okay. And so battle was Ydelles. Heartbreak was Elio. Sorry, just want to make sure I have this down myself. Okay, so you get an 11 and you do not lose control. Thank you, goodness. But let me see. And you take +1 forward. So your next roll will allow you to take a +1 on it. Okay, on top of any other modifiers that you get. So yeah. Endure heartbreak in response to conflicts and crises arising from your dilemmas, though this move can be made in response to any situation that tests your heart. Okay, so yeah, I mean,
I think Ydelles sees me eyeing the axe and grips it meaningfully. And I think Cerelia knows that it will come to blows if he forces it. So he steps back, but he'll say, and 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 where does Aurora fit in this? How can she be someone under with someone under such a curse? And I'll turn away.
So let me just clarify. Did you break the axe?
No, no, I think I was eyeing it.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
and but then I think Adele. Correct me. I mean, I don't think Adele would let.
Okay.
Is
So you're
that yeah?
basically asking if how will Aurora feel about me being Adele being under a curse?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. That's a great question. Let's see. Let's see. What does my freaky girlfriend who's using me for something think about this? Um
if you're not sure what to use, do
yeah.
act heroically because it's like describe how you address
I
a
think
problem.
I don't think Adele has a good answer right now. And in these sorts of situations, he would go to his good confidant, Sir Ilio, and talk about it.
Right.
Which probably isn't going to really work right now. Um, so I think he just, what would he do? I think, because he's not angry at you. Um, I think he's just sort of like, that's something that Aurora and I are going to have to discuss. Like he says, diplomatically. Like, Adele is acting much more mature recently than he has shown. And so, like, he's just like, well, I'm going to take one thing at a time. If you want to press that, if you want to continue to prevail or whatever on him, then I think it might get beyond this. But I think like the reality of what's happening, yeah, exactly, last 20 minutes. Um, the reality of this whole thing is starting to sink in too. Like there's in the moment a
Mm.
rash young heroic person taking on this, but not really thinking it through all the way in terms of a practical thing. Like, yeah, he definitely leapt into this without fully thinking about it. Yeah, so I think he responds diplomatically right now, but who knows? And maybe 20 minutes from now he'll be gnashing his teeth and saying, "Why did I do that?"
As this is going on, like, the looks, the words between Sir Elio and Sir Granit, what are you thinking? What are you doing?
Now, hang on. If he accepts this curse right now, he won't be able to leave.
That is the sticky wicket, isn't it?
I can't allow that. I will not allow that to come to pass.
And what would you like to do about it?
I'm gonna grab the axe and swing for Lord Bertilak's family jewels.
Oh my god.
He just said we had to knock. He just said we had to knock him down, right?
Strike him. Strike him with his
Right?
axe, yes.
Yeah,
That
that
could
doesn't
just be
mean
like
he
that doesn't
just
mean
got to get
kill him.
knocked over.
Yeah, just like hit him upside the face.
No, yeah. Honestly, a good strong shove would do it. But no, for insurance, I'm taking the axe, wielding it at the blade end, and swinging the pommel into his nuts.
Oh my god. Jesus. Now, mind you, all this stuff, I mean, like, unless we want to say
And I've
this
got
is
stone
happening.
hands, so they can't be cut.
Oh, wow. Okay. What a
But they
thought.
can be broken.
Oh my gosh. Uh, oh man. Because it's like this whole thing has happened. So I'm trying to think of, like, whether this would be a reaction, like, right in the moment. And so, like some kind of simultaneous move, or would this be like a late reaction and then, you just saw him essentially accept the duty and the curse from Sir Bertilak. So now you would essentially be responsible for the death of somebody who is now mortal. Doing this is what I'm saying.
Well, okay,
And
no.
and what's the knightly code for that? Is that like we arrest you? Would Sir Ilya have to arrest you and take you
Knights
back?
don't arrest people.
Or would he have to kill you? I mean, what is our code here? This suddenly became like
This
a
is
weird blood opera.
well because you know what
I mean,
I feel like this is
baby.
I feel like this is part of the misfortune. Like I hadn't even given you misfortune yet, but like Sir Granit's just jumping in there and just throwing it all like like shit to the wall. It's great. Um, oh boy.
I did not become a knight by acting by thinking my actions through or behaving with any sort of decorum.
Yeah, there's been some really wackadoodle reasons for becoming a knight. Um, so oh boy. All right. Action scenes occur. Okay. Yeah, this is definitely an action scene. So, throughout a round, players can act and make moves freely, with the limitation that each player can only roll dice once per round. So, re-rolling dice rolls, such as when you fulfill destiny, does not count against this limit. And then, so each player can act in the round. So, essentially, all of you have, like Ydelles, then Sir Elio have acted, and then now we're dealing with Sir Granit.
Now, I had thought I could time this so that it would happen before the
trade.
before Ydelles verbally assents to this whole plan. Like I had thought the scene I am interrupting is this plea between Elio and Ydelles has happened, and they are sort of standing there facing each other in silence. Ydelles holding out the axe, and Granit will just snatch it and meet the original terms of the curse.
Okay, so this is okay. So I'm coming out of the scene right now because this is an interesting thought of mechanical timing versus what is in the story. Okay, so again, the action scene is each of the players acts, and then then the round is over, and then you can start again, and then somebody acts and then goes through the round. So in this case, I mean, mechanically, I think I'm doing it right, where Ydelles acted, something happened, Sir Elio acted, luckily nothing terrible happened, and then now Sir Granit is acting, but then what has happened with Ydelles has been the trade between the Green Knight and Ydelles. And that is what Sir Elio was reacting to. So, again, in this case, I feel that
is my fault for not understanding the timing on that. And I'll come up with a different, better reason to hit someone in the nuts.
I'm just saying. I mean, we can totally back it up. We can totally. We're pausing right now, and we can totally rewind.
Okay with that. I don't. What I don't want to do is invalidate all of the cool role play that just happened.
Understood.
I think, given what we had established, and especially Sir Ilio's heartbreaking performance and all that, I think it would be easier to just continue forward with the timeline.
Okay.
I'm totally cool with Sir Granit, like snatching the axe after Sir Ilio did his thing and like wreaking vengeance or whatever. But I kind of feel like that chain of events was pretty strong in the fiction.
Yeah,
That's what I thought too.
That's what I had figured. I kind of missed the part where at the end of that you did like finally fully accept the curse. And that's what I thought I was jumping in to stop.
Mm.
But if not, then that's fine, and I can come up with some other magic bullshit to get you out of here.
Because I look forward to that.
Well, the only reason I had like, you know, stopped play to kind of like talk about this was because, again, you know, this is a good discussion if you don't mind, because what I feel like is, like, I will just like, you know, power on through the story because it's like, you know, you guys are just like giving me all sorts of emotional, like, you know, like feels. However, I mean, did I step on you, Sir Granite, and not let you act before the completion of the consequence with Ydelles? Do you feel that was fair?
I think it's too late for that to matter, frankly.
Okay, well, again, that's what I want to make sure, because
like, I don't care. What I wanted to do was already a disruptive action, and it seems like everyone else is much happier with the way that this is played straight.
Okay. No, again, I can work with it either way. I mean, I just want to make sure that you don't feel like I took away your agency because it's like I just like completed the consequence.
Mans, you enable me so often. You can have this. I will let you stop me this one time out of how many sessions have we played together?
Can't usually stop the ball rolling. I understand this. Okay. No, I mean, like, this is good for me, all right? I mean, like, again, we're still out of the scene. I'm just making a mention of this as GM improvement, thank you, and then also trying to understand it's like how other people see the game as well. So we can talk more about this, like, you know, on afterwards. But again, I just wanted to make sure I didn't take away your agency, okay? All right. So if continuing onward, is that what you're planning on doing? Are you planning on grabbing the axe and you're planning on smacking Sir Bertilak, who is no longer the Green Knight?
Yeah, no, if that is the case, then no.
Okay. So you have an action.
We do still have to strike down Ydelles to leave, though, don't we?
I mean, yeah, the conditions of the curse is that, you know, the guardian of this place, this manor.
Also, hey, does Bertilak melt like the Crusader in Indiana Jones? Because there was very much a sort of out of time situation going on.
Yes. Well, I mean, like, you know, like I said, I mean, like, it's like his armor of leaves rustled away and then basically went on to Ydelles. Like, you're seeing his leathers and furs and whatever, like, you know, starting to take on the aspect of rustling leaves. But not all the way green. Like, maybe like partially green rust.
Yeah, I think Chris is wondering if Bertilak is still there, or human, or dead, or ghost.
Is there a guy here that we have to like deal with still?
And like open a room up for and feed and bathe and take for walks.
No. I mean, like, you know, if anything,
for David,
I mean, like,
to replace his character with, if enough rolls go bad, you know.
Yeah, I'll play Sir Bertilak. Come home to roost.
Oh my god, holy shit. Well, I mean, again, like, you know, considering the surreality that I love to play, I mean, I'm gonna say that not only does his aspect fade into like these robes of a penitent as opposed to a warrior. I think, like, you know, he's looking at you with these eyes that go from like brilliant green and then fade into like this limpid blue and then gray, and then as he's saying this, I mean, he's literally fading. Like, he's saying, "Thank you. Good luck. And yeah, like, fading into the robes of a penitent, he's getting paler by the second, and then he fades away like dust.
Damn, I can't believe you Indiana Jones that guy. Okay. And okay, yeah, if this has all occurred,
I think my first question will be for Ydelles, Lord Ydelles.
do you feel any different?
Ydelles looks at himself as, I guess, not at the moment, but perhaps I will feel differently as the years go by.
Well, as newly named Lord of this manor,
I hope you would permit me to make a few changes.
It's the fountain, isn't it? You don't like the fountain.
I have a great many things that I would change about this place, not least of all the lack of natural light. How can anything be expected to grow in this kind of darkness?
I think as you say that, I think you all hear a scream coming from the doorway, and Palace is there looking very pale. And she just kind of clutches at the door frame and just says, "What did you do? What did you do? Where is Sir Bertilak?"
He has been freed of his curse.
You are... You are the Autumn Knight, then. What does this mean? What does this mean for me? Are you going to send me away? Am I to leave here?
Alice, would you wish to remain, or would you wish to depart?
This is all that I've known for my life. I don't know where I would go. If not, remain here.
Then please stay.
And she does a deep curtsy.
Thank
you, my lord. Thank you. And she just kind of like goes away with this stricken look on her face, and will turn back as an afterthought, and I will have your meal ready upon the noontime.
Thank you.
And she'll go do her business. Yep.
What is Sir Elio doing?
I don't know. He's just been standing there. Yeah, I think that's like the angriest you've seen him. I mean,
You've
just
done worse than pick him up now. Oh my God, what's wrong with you?
Just to be clear, are you abandoning the quest for the Golden Heart, or are you still planning to see that part through and come back?
Do
Or
you,
what?
David, think Ydelles will get out of this?
I have no idea. This is play to find out,
Okay.
right?
Yes,
I have
yes.
no idea.
And
right?
again, I remember at the
Okay.
end of the session, you can always change your dilemmas.
Yeah. Like, I haven't changed my dilemma since we started because it's been fairly focused on doing this quest, and then we got sidetracked thanks to Palace. So this is definitely a changing point. So I think Ydelles would say, my intention is to still return the Golden Heart to the princess as requested. And it may or may not Escaper knows that he did not include himself in being part of returning the heart, because he doesn't know if he'll be able to actually do that part.
Yeah.
But he does want to complete the promise that he made to do.
I think you'll know, though, having taken on the aspect of the Autumn Night, I think you'll realize that just like Sir Bertilak, you will not be able to open up the grounds for anyone to leave unless you are struck by a guest.
So,
And they will need to fulfill that promise
sure.
after a year.
So, consulting my astral legal counsel here, struck, does it measure what that is? Does it say what that means, or is it open to interpretation?
Open to interpretation, but it has to be done with the axe, which is now green and rust red.
Interesting. Okay. So, it says for anyone to leave, they must be struck with the axe, correct?
Well, I mean, again, it's like, to I guess open up the grounds. It's like, Sir Bertilak was going to ask each of you to strike him with his axe, and then he will get to do the same to
Right.
you each in a year. Yeah.
Yeah. I think Ydelles will just say, as far as I know, this is still new territory. The axe must be involved in making contact with me, and then within a year, it must be made in contact with whoever has done so. Struck is open to interpretation, and then you'll be able to leave. I'm also curious about how far and wide of range of territory that I have access to.
Excuse me. Gain insight, please.
Yes. All right.
Mhm.
Okay. Oh, good. Let's roll the 2d6.
And I think you do still have a +1. Do I give you because of the dilemma, or
If it still applies, I don't know if it
because you
still
didn't roll? You
applies.
didn't roll since then, right? Or
No, yeah, I've only made the one roll.
oh, okay.
Yeah, so, okay. So I got a 9. Another 9. See, I'm just not failing or succeeding very well. All right.
You got Midland. Gain insight.
Stuck
Okay.
in the middles.
Yep. All right. Let's see. Okay. Okay. So you are now tied to this land, which means that you can sense any disturbances or what have you on it. But when those strange anomalies happen, you are not going to be able to sense that. That is the nature of those things that prevented Sir Bertilak from dealing with them, and why he didn't know that Palace was in danger. But I will say that for everything else, it's almost like your senses have reached into the land that you are able to traverse. And I think your misfortune is that you find out that, yes, you can sense that the Golden Hart has been here, has crossed these lands, and they are just now a little bit beyond it. If you leave, if you try to cross the border of these lands, you are on a serious timer. You will start to fade. You will start to decay until you come back onto the lands that you are now part of.
I think what Ydelles says is that I could push things to complete this quest. However, and I will not hold you to it. I may not be able to deliver the Golden Heart to court, but I will endeavor to help capture it alive so that it may be delivered, if either of you are willing to do so on my behalf.
I've already made that vow.
You know it is well within your rights now to renounce your title and leave.
I have made a promise.
The terms of which you do not understand. This was incredibly unwise.
You are more than welcome to chastise me till the end of my days.
I shan't have the chance, if Bertilak is any example.
I think it's around this time, Sir Granit, that you realize that your hands have cracked. Like you hear a distinct crack coming from your hands, and the rock has fallen away, revealing your normal hands. Normal human hands.
Well, that's not right. I haven't repaid them yet. I don't trust gnomish charity. Let me out.
So Adele takes the heavy axe, puts it on the table. Says, if either of you wish to leave on your own accord, you need only strike me with this.
Strike you
However,
down, I believe was the phrase. And I shall be more than happy to, he says, hefting the axe. I'll swing for the back of the knees. Blunt side, of course.
Still. Oh my god. For Chris's sake.
roll it. Come on, Chris, roll it.
Oh man.
All right, is this a do battle?
Yeah.
Am I in your social class?
I think you're below my social class. Now you're a lord. Now you're above it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm
I
gonna.
guess we were both fighters before. You just weren't a knight.
Didn't you take a point? I mean, okay. So wait,
No, I decided not to.
Okay, and then what about Ydelles? Did you take a point to raise your level?
He did.
Oh, I only did it for that contest or that battle. I don't. Does it stay?
Oh, no,
it stays. It stays.
Oh
yeah.
shit!
It sticks.
Then yeah. Wow. Okay.
So, Sir Granit, you're okay. Hold on. Let me see what it does.
Other than do battle that I could use for this.
Okay, which move were you thinking of?
Let me see.
Are you going to prevail upon me to let you hit me behind my knees?
Yeah, just fucking. I'll be right back. I just gotta go get some stuff.
I hope you're going to get me a bunch of pillows to fall on.
This can be arranged.
Listen,
I shall find the softest heathers in all the as far as my eyes can see from this gate.
All right, listen. The only reason I was suggesting battle, and you could even parlay me for endure heartbreak, okay? The only reason I'm suggesting this is because it's I'd like you to get some XP, unless you anticipate rolling badly.
The battle.
Okay,
I very much like rolling big magic at +5.
Okay, all right. Just tell me what you plan on doing.
I've only got my first experience point today, so,
Wait, no, PC battle is different, right?
I believe so, yes. Hold on. What is it? If your opponent is a fellow hero, both rolls with virtue. Oh boy.
Do we choose what virtue? Or is it
Uh,
automatically vigor?
I would imagine, like, in this case, it would be vigor because, I mean, like, you're gonna take it, and Sir Granit's gonna deal it. So,
So,
yeah, I'm
could,
gonna say vigor.
yeah. If I okay, I think in this game, defend is only defending someone else, not defending yourself.
Correct.
Correct?
Correct.
Yes,
Well,
Okay.
does it say? I mean,
it
I always
When
thought
you
it was somebody else.
oh no no, it is yourself. It
Oh,
is when you
never
defend
mind.
something, someone, or yourself from physical danger. Roll plus vigor.
Neat.
Okay.
Okay, but you're both still rolling with vigorous. So I mean, like, if
Yeah.
Sir Granite is applying force, then you're defending from harm. That sort of thing. Otherwise, it's just like a straight battle move with vigor. So
Right. Right. Let me look up.
it's the difference between uh on a success you manage the feat for apply force. On a success the harm is prevented and you receive +1 forward. So if one hero succeeds and the other fails, the succeeding hero wins. If both heroes succeed or fail, the battle is a draw.
All right.
So yeah.
Go for it, Chris.
That is a 9 + 1 for a 10.
Oh,
All right. Here we go.
here we go.
Okay. I got a 7 + 4, an 11.
Motherfucker. Wait, how is it +4?
Because I'm a son of a giant. I get a
Oh,
plus.
so you have +2. Oh, okay.
This is my best thing to go after, is fighting me physically.
Oh man.
Well, then what the fuck are we doing? Why did we do any of this? We've just made it exponentially harder for all of us to leave.
Oh, that's so funny. Well, okay. So I'm gonna say that no. I mean, like, you still fulfilled the terms of the
Yeah, he
agreement.
still struck me.
I mean, but it's not
Yeah,
like
no,
you
I gotta
you
strike you
caused him
down.
damage. Yeah. I
I
mean,
think Ydelles. I think there's this like half a second delay, and Ydelles goes, oh, and falls down.
you fulfilled the terms of the agreement. There you go.
Right. And the way opens before me magically.
Mm.
And I make sure to keep the gate at my like I'm keeping the gate in my peripheral vision. Like I am looking at the gate the whole time I am out there.
Yeah.
I'm gathering up as many sort of large flat stones as I can.
But I think you hear in your ear as you're doing that. I think you're hearing in your ear. So, where's where's the weight?
You'll get it soon enough.
All right.
Just ride along in here, will you? I say, hefting a rock. Bring
Fine.
friends.
Wasn't able to get in here. This place feels so gross.
Yes, but imagine the weight of an entire keep.
It doesn't feel right.
Then bring as many of you as are necessary to make it feel right. One of your brothers is suffering in there.
And
He cannot leave.
you hear a question. You don't hear an actual question. You just kind of sense a question in your head. Like,
It never
what the hell are you talking
occurred to
about?
you to ask how that keep stood without a gnome upon its grounds?
And just kind of this strange grunt. And yeah, I mean, tell us more about what's going on. And I think it's like, as you're picking up as much rock as possible, I think you're also like, able to tell him what's going on. The only reason I'm kind of like, rushing over is like I want to check in on Sir Elio before I call for a short break. I feel so bad. Oh my God. Sir Elio, what are you gonna do?
It's all been very cool.
Okay. What are you gonna do, Sir Elio?
Oh, I just thought of something. Well, I was gonna be mean, but I just thought of something else.
Oh
Uh,
dear.
um, you have not given us hospitality, so we don't have to give you a favor,
Oh yeah, wait. Yeah, hang on. That was the other guy.
right?
We've accepted no hospitality from you. I hit you in the I knocked you over for nothing.
Not for nothing. I get to come back and do the same to you in a year. Totally worth it.
Bye.
I hope you have some good
Somehow
soft pillows
I'm
around.
villain coded. Somehow I'm the villainous one.
Well, here's the thing. You seem like this is something you really wanted to do, and I wanted to be a good host and entertain you.
I'm obsessed. I accepted your hospitality by beginning the duel. This is beautiful.
Oh, Sir Elio,
Thank
you're
you.
so damn clever.
He is.
So, okay. So before we take a 5-minute break, Sir Elio, what are you doing?
Oh, I'll just pick up the axe and I'll throw it at his feet. You have given no hospitality, only heartbreak to me today.
Oh,
But that
I love
means
that.
I am under no obligation to strike you down.
Agreed.
Oh my God. Oh, that's beautiful. Oh my gosh. Damn. Okay.
Let's take a break.
5 minutes back at the
Right,
40
cool.
mark. So we seem to have some ideas about how to get Lord, uh, Lord Ydelles out of this manor and out into the world proper, I suppose. I want to hear these ideas.
Any of you are welcome to speak in turn. Just because I'm a lord now doesn't change
I'm
our
gone.
banter.
I'm out collecting rocks. I ain't
Okay.
even here.
He's got a
Get
deal
rocks.
he's got some weighty deal to complete.
No, but so like after that last thing, where the axe was dramatically thrown at my feet and all that, which is awesome. Like what do we see Sir Ilio and Ydelles do? Like is there just this sort of like they're looking at each other? Like what do I do with you? Is there like do we turn to make a plan? Like what do you think happens here, Rod?
Yeah, I mean, um, Sir Elio will propose, since you cannot, since by your own doing you cannot leave these lands, and we know the stag was here once. If we can lure it back here to the grounds, you will be able to partake in the quest that was yours to begin with.
What do you have in mind to lure the creature back?
If you can find where it went and how it first entered your land, maybe something drew it in.
Hmm. So like I think Ydelles still learning how to do this. he's going to stretch out his senses and try to get that information, try to figure out if there was something that lured the Golden Heart in, and if that's something we could replicate.
I got nothing. I
You're just
suppose I could roll for
moving
insight.
rocks.
I'm
But
moving rocks.
You're not there. You're just moving rocks. A mason
Everyone's so
after my own
quiet.
heart.
I think. I mean,
Wait, Mads, have you
Mads,
been
I think you're
talking this
muted.
whole time? You've been muted.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry. Yeah, so is Sir Elio or Ydelles going to be doing anything? Like trying to gain insight
Yeah.
somehow,
Well,
or
yeah, Ydelles is going to be like trying to be one with the land and see if there's any idea of what may have lured Golden Heart into the land, because it crossed through here. And if so, what can we use from that to lure it back into the land?
okay. Right, so this is gain insight
Mhm.
to lure stag back.
Mhm.
Okay, and that is Ydelles. And I think as you're talking or thinking about this, I think Sir Elio, you hear a squawk from the great room, from the great hall.
it's the flirty parrot.
Hmm?
Yeah, I'll go back and I'll release it from the cage.
Hmm.
Um, you are free now. I'm assuming this. I don't know if Adele wants to keep it, but I'll say you are free.
Oh, I see. Now that I'm the lawyer, you're just going to do whatever the heck you want. That's not very guestly of you.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. No, seriously, do you let the parrot out?
I'll open the cage to him.
Yeah, so I would definitely ask that you think about using your move, interpreter of languages.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then, yeah, uh, prevail upon or gain insight and such. Okay. So, yeah, let's deal with those. Let's deal with those two things first, and then, granted, I'm gonna come back to you. Um, So you're going to try to figure out reaching out your senses to lure the stag back into your lands. Gain insight, that would be rolling with wise, but I think because of I feel like did you use your +1 already? Because I feel like
What is the +1 from?
it was
I used my heart, my +1 from my heart, from the dilemma.
Oh, okay. All right.
That was from the battle.
Got it.
So I think I'm just rolling straight up unless I have some sort of advantage or help or something.
But who rolled the gain insight? That was a 9.
I just rolled one recently.
Okay.
When I figured out what the extent of my realm was and that I couldn't leave.
Yeah. So I feel like hold on a second. I feel like there's a +1 forward on that. Yes. So, I mean, like, I gave you information on it until the end of the
Mhm.
next session. Heroes receive
Oh,
+1 ongoing when acting on this
sweet.
information. Yeah.
All right. So ask me anything about my realm.
Yeah, serious.
Where do you keep the cereal
Oh
bowls?
my gosh.
Okay, so I got, wait for it, a 9.
Oh man.
How many 9s can I keep rolling? Unless
I
I'm fighting
swear.
someone.
Maybe that's your lucky number. You better start like, like
When
hitting
you
Powerball or
plus
something.
4.
Okay.
It's not supposed
Anyway.
to be possible.
Okay. Oh my gosh. Give me a second. Oh my god.
No
Okay.
problem.
So the information that you receive, and you know what? I'm gonna mark off misfortune. I gotta figure that out. But anyway, the information that you want is that you see in your mind's eye the stag. It's so clear. Like it's almost like you're flying above it, or your presence like very close to it, and you can zoom in and you see the glint of its fur, you see the gild of its antlers, and it's moving quite quickly. Weren't expecting that part. It's almost like it was running away from something, which is why the reason it came here. But you're reaching out your senses and you're following its tracks backwards. You're reverse engineering its tracks. And you realize that it has come from someplace on the other side of the manor, which is why you saw it at night. And oh, you're gonna love this, Sir Elio. I think when you trace back, when Ydelles traces back the tracks, I think he's going to see another set of tracks that look more spaced out and larger than the stag's. And it looks like from this point, it looks like there was a battle here between the two because of the way it's like the ground has been kicked up and everything.
Is there any sense of what it was battling?
From the tracks in the dirt, it's almost as if you can see something has dug furrows into the dirt. Not by its hooves, but by perhaps something very long and cylindrical. I mean, could just as easily be a knight with its, like, with his jousting pole or something like that, just dragging something on the ground. But I don't think you get that impression. You sense something else, like the stag, but larger. Possibly with a horn on its head.
A French horn. Those Frenchies.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Oh.
So I think while this is going on, I kind of envision Ydelles kind of like in a trance. And when I think when he merges with the realm, like you actually see like roots or something connect him to the ground, to his feet. It's like he connects. He's not wireless yet. And his eyes roll back and like are covered with like moss or something, and then he comes out of it. And I think, if you'll permit me, I think what happens, given what we've already established with him, is I think he starts talking, but it comes out as like a mixture of like stag and something else, like the sound stag grunts and sniffs and neighs, but not quite horse neighs.
I think at this point Elio will come running with the parrot because he thinks you're in trouble.
Yeah, because I'm almost horse-like. Yeah, yeah.
No, because of like what we saw last time, which was
exactly
like he can't whistle, so the neighs are the trouble sound.
Exactly, and it probably sounds like because I have this like competing vocal range going on. It probably sounds like I'm fighting with myself. or there's some kind of animal disturbance going on in the room.
Yeah.
So yeah, I can see Sir Elio running in there, like, what the hell's going on here, and just see me coming out of this trance and like being like, okay, I think I know what we can do.
And Sir Elio, do you roll? Do you want to roll for gain insight gain insight with the parrot?
Sure.
Or are you gonna prevail to say, if I let you out of here, you got to tell me something good?
No, I would never do that to a creature, a wild creature.
Yeah, he wouldn't. Yeah, he wouldn't. So that's pretty cool.
But I do have a +1 forward from the Endure Heartbreak.
Mm.
Would this apply to the quest?
Yeah, because I mean, like you
Maybe.
gotta get out of here because
Okay.
it involves you too.
Right. Cool. All right. So let's gain insight at
Plus
12.
wise. Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
Okay. Ultra special. Okay. So, and I will give you your misfortune later, Adele. Don't worry. I think at this juncture, I mean, I think the parrot has kind of, gotten out of its cage and actually, like, kind of flown above you a little bit, but then, like alights on your shoulder as you're running to help Adele. And as you skid into the room, the parrot is like kind of balancing itself on your shoulder and just kind of squawks and goes, "Ah, new lord, new grounds, new problem. Ah," and kind of like nibble at your ear and say, "Many horns fighting one horn." Ah.
And Elio's eyes will widen at that. Uh, where is?
Come back to you in a second.
Okay.
Sir Granit,
It's
as you're
gonna be
collecting.
so funny when I burst back into the grounds, arms full of rocks like Kramer from Seinfeld.
Is that, I mean, honestly, is that what you're doing? Like, did you get enough weight? Or are you.
So, well, no, that's not as we had discussed at the beginning of the session. I'm using these stones to build a cairn,
Okay.
and this will be an all like as a place of power for the gnomes and connection to the outside.
Okay. Perfect.
And using that to let the gnomes back in and hopefully make this place marginally more normal.
This feels like you're trying to perform your epic move.
I guess.
Ba-da-ba.
Yeah, that's what this is. That's
Or
100%
wait,
of
hold
what
on.
I am doing.
Hold on a second. Okay. So you can move the energy, the element substance, and emerge in the same kind of substance in another location. No. Okay. Yeah, you're doing like some major epic stuff here. Okay. So you are source of your power. You're designated yourself as one of your bonds. Okay. To use your sorcery, you've described your intended effect of the spell, and then choose a spell requirement from the list. But remembering that your default is your spell effects are limited to a single target, targets you currently perceive, targets no heavier than 1 ton, and durations no longer than a minute, and areas of effect no longer than 1 yard. Are you well within those spell effects? Those
Fuck no.
limitations. Well then, okay.
I mean, well, actually, I mean, I could listen. I could sit here and then describe how I am opening up a perfectly square 1 yard gateway to the outside world through the earth. Or I could do an act of big magic.
Yes.
Would you count the grounds of this castle as a single target?
You know what? I'm gonna say yes because I mean it is within the whole heavier than 1 ton crap. Whatever. I'm okay with this. It's fine. But the area of effect though, that's the thing that sticks with me here.
That is the one that because I would need. It's the last 2 that I need to affect here.
Yes.
I assume you're gonna give me no heavier than 1 ton.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm gonna say that you've already needed to provide 1 spell requirement from the list. So adding those 2, trying to go beyond the last 2 limitations, will add another 2 spell requirements.
Right.
So
I'm gonna
in
need to
total
write my
3.
true name.
Yep.
That's easy. I can
Yep.
hide that between 2 stones.
Okay. What else?
Because gnomes only speak in true names. That's not a problem for me. I can make up whatever nonsense I want for that not to be dangerous. I can time travel directly into the plot holes. And it will require time and concentration.
Okay, so cannot be within an action scene. Okay. And
I mean, obviously,
endure a heartbreak, damn it.
Obviously, it will require the assistance of the lord of this place, my good friend Ydelles.
Oh, so you're gonna require assistance?
Yes.
Okay.
Wait.
Help.
Does this mean you're asking for a favor?
Oh shit.
I can hit you again.
Oh my
I don't care. We're buddies.
Okay.
You haven't gone castle mad yet.
That's true. That's true. Okay. All right. So first off, all right. So okay, and okay. Cross spell requirement. Okay, and then invitation you choose to ignore. Okay. Now once you have to satisfy the help requirement, you have to roll help because you're trying to get Ydelles' help on this big project. So
fine. We're gonna call this a wisdom roll though, because I'm testing my ability to explain this whole situation to you.
Like any of the things where you're trying to prevail upon or obtain goods and services.
I'll roll +0.
Okay, sorry.
It's fine. I got an 8.
An 8.
5 and 3.
Okay, so we got some misfortune coming.
Yippee.
Okay. All right. So you've satisfied the requirements. Okay, now you have to roll plus destiny. So yeah, any of the unmarked checkboxes where you would add that to your roll to do this big ass spell. But I have to give you a misfortune afterwards, as well as Ydelles. So go ahead and roll.
This is +5.
Yep.
That's an 11 on the dice, so I rolled a 16.
Okay. All right.
Where
16.
was that one roll ago when I needed it?
Okay. So with your 16, you tell me what this looks like because this is epic. So yeah.
And I think what happens is I carve a circle in the earth and spend a day and a night making atonements. And I think this is the first cairn, but I leave and return several times, erecting standing stones around the ground in a loose geometric shape. And it gets easier each time.
Oh yeah.
The grounds shift far less. Become more solid, one could say.
Right.
Do you have a permit for those?
Yeah, I asked for your help. You permitted me.
But okay, so misfortune here. Is Ydelles going to be asking you for a favor for allowing you to do this?
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh boy. Okay. So, yeah. And
I have an idea
uh-huh.
Please.
for what that would be. And it, so you tried explaining a lot of this stuff to Adele, right? I think there are pieces of it that he gets, and there are other pieces that he doesn't. Um, so I think, do we know about your relationship with gnomes and other spirits?
I've certainly explained it to you enough times.
Okay.
And you've seen him talk to what looks like, rocks. So
you watched me plow 2 wolves through a stone wall,
right, but
and then
you
emerge
also
with stone
you
hands.
also you also threw a giant. Like, I've seen you perform miraculous things, but I'm just trying to make the connection. Do I know that you talk to small little like people that live in these things, or anyways? So I think
I
Ydelles,
think that's up to you, frankly.
Yeah, Ydelles is gonna say, I would, in return for doing this, I would like for you to have your gnomes, your spirits, help set up an alarm system in my land for those creatures that and other things like that. Those, what were they called, Mads?
I call them anomalies.
Anomalies. I'm not asking them to actually deal with them, but to let me know where and when they are. Does that seem fair?
I could certainly open negotiations, but they are no more mine than I am yours.
Fair enough.
I will gladly serve as a go-between and translator.
Thank you.
Oh, he's gonna pay for that in the weight in his weight in stone.
Nope, that one's all me. You don't govern life. That is the domain of the heavens. Calm down, rock boy.
You're no fun. And as this is happening, I'm gonna say that you take, for being able to figure out what the lure is, like you're realizing that the unicorn, and I'm sure Elio has spoken about it to you. I think you're realizing that Elio's obsession has been here on now your lands and has fought the stag, the heart, I should say. And so therefore now the heart is going off to do its healing thing, but it's going to be back. And I'm going to say that you hold on, I'm trying to figure out how to make this worse. I'm dry. Amazingly enough, I'm dry. I'm trying to think of how to make this worse, and I haven't figured out how to make this worse yet.
I think that means you cut the session here.
That's cheating!
No, another thing you could do is you could tell us what your intention is, and then we could willingly throw ourselves on the spear of making it worse.
Let us fuck up our little guys all by ourselves.
Help us hurt ourselves.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I want to say, well, I want to say that, for doing this, for being able to reach out into your land now and try to connect with it and bond with it, I think we start to see that your appearance is now getting more like the throne has like the gnarled branches around it and the leaves. The leaves are now taking on the aspect of not completely green, but green and rusty on the edges. and your face starts to get these veins in it that look like gnarled branches, and they surround your eyes.
That's so cool.
But it hurts.
You
know that
it's
as
so
you
wretched.
delve deeper, it's going to hurt. It's going to hurt more.
So, when you say the that I'm bonding with, is it the heart or the unicorn? That is the it.
Oh, it's the land.
Oh, okay, yeah.
For reaching out so hard and immersing yourself so deeply in the land, you are, and understanding and getting like a a land view of these creatures that have essentially trespassed. Yeah, you are becoming more like it every time you use that ability.
So is the unicorn still on the land? Like, is the heart coming back to finish the fight? Is that the implication? Okay.
Yeah, that's the implication.
Cool.
But the unicorn is wandering around somewhere.
I'm definitely telling Sir Elio about the unicorn.
And the misfortune, again, if you didn't already catch that, Granite, is that Ydelles going to ask you for a favor.
Yeah, I got that. And we did. We had a whole scene about it.
I mean, I'm not talking about the striking down.
No.
For later.
No.
Okay. I agreed to negotiate on his behalf.
Yes. Okay.
That is a thing that happened.
We're going to do a union talk later on.
Oh, God!
Local.
And Elio, how do you react to this news that, like, you know, the unicorn is still here somewhere?
I will. I must go and find it immediately.
Of course. You have my blessing.
You see how the changes have wrought upon his face and around his eyes. Yeah.
I run away and run towards the unicorn. Do I have did we have horses? Yeah, we did have horses, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay,
yes.
So I will jump on my horse and tell it to go as fast as it can. Does the parrot? Can the parrot lead me?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah, it nibbles on your ear again as you get your horse ready and just squawks and says, "Adventure, free." And then, yeah, we can end there as you ride away, and we see you ride away from Manor House, and we see these standing stones that seem to have gathered some sort of power on their own. Maybe the stones are suffused with some kind of glow within. Maybe they're crackling. Who knows? But I mean, like, you know, there's more of these cairns around the grounds. And, Ydelles, I think we see you sink into the throne, that throne-like chair, and we see your eyes glow green. And that's the end of our session for right now. So, end of session stuff. Again, if you have endured heartbreak, if you have battled, you get a point of XP for each of those things. Okay? And then, nobody failed to roll, so that was good, but then you don't get XP for that. Sorry.
And it's just uncanny. At this point,
I don't know. You're not failing forward. I mean, that's all I gotta say.
Failing at all.
I know. Okay, you said something. You said something. It'll probably happen next time. Who knows? Just remember that you can now clear any marks that you've made on your dilemmas. Okay, if at all, and you can also rewrite them at this point, or wait until the beginning of next session to rewrite your dilemmas, because I'm sure there's been some changes. Oh shit. You know, you don't have to fulfill any of them if you decide to change them, right? I mean, like it's just very fluid. So no fear. Okay. Has anybody leveled up at this point? Okay. All right. Just want to make sure. And so, stars and wishes. Yeah, stars are things you enjoyed about the game, the gameplay, each other. And wishes, what do you want to see for next time? I'm not even going to bother taking notes because I'm going to pay attention and then rewatch this. All right, so.
Okay.
Holy damn.
Stars, too. I mean, there are a lot of stars to go around.
Jesus.
Stars, first and foremost, to David for being so willing to drive your character like a fucked up stolen car. You literally never have I played with somebody willing to actively remove their character from the narrative for some reason. I don't know. I assume you had a good reason to do that. Probably because it was sick as fuck. Because it was. Stars to Mads, as always, for going along with this absolutely insane game. And stars to Sir Elio. God, I had a good one and it's just gone. Something with the bird. Oh, no, it was for enduring such beautiful heartbreak. For really bringing emotional weight to this curse. That was incredible. Also the bird. Love the bird. And yeah, those are my stars. I'll come back to me for wishes. I need to think about the future.
Go ahead. Oh, well, Mads, thanks for creating this beautiful playground for us to play it. Oh, so much fun. So much to interact with. And just, keeping it, yeah, just having that structure there that we can explore and play with is wonderful. Um, Chris, I love that. I love that you wanted to give the Green Knight a low blow for some crazy reason, and that you then decided to strike Ydelles in the back of the knee. It's just hilarious. Yeah, I love the standing stones at the end and kind of really bringing your magic down to this world, into this weird manor and the lands, the grounds. Um, and David, oh man, yeah, wonderful. That was a wonderful twist of trying to take in the curse, um, and becoming the Autumn Knight. I love that phrase, Mads. Um, and and then just really, yeah, just putting it all out there and and yeah, and just like playing so boldly. I really appreciate that. Um, as a wish, I love the manor and the grounds, and I wouldn't be opposed to seeing more of the weirdness and weird places like we had last time. And finding the unexpected. Oh, and of course, yeah, Matt, thank you for bringing the unicorn in such an unexpected way. That was awesome. Um, and then if one thought, if people wanted to, my cat is being very hyper hyper right now. Um, but I was thinking, if we wanted to, we can explore who, after we finish with the Golden Hart stag, if we explore the origin of the curse and try to break it that way, um, and and that could be the next quest on the journey. So, just a thought. Thanks.
So Rod is already laying the groundwork for season 2 and 3, I think. Um, so yeah, this is such. I think you really are hitting the spirit of this fiction and its source material. It's lush and evocative and very like grounded in human emotions and desire, and it's been really a joy to playing this story. Um, Chris, like you are a really your characters are really interesting, like engineer of things to come. I'm really looking forward to seeing what the next thing you're going to bring to this. um and I'm glad that you were able to strike out and let some of that vengeance go. um well done. Rod, thank you so much for playing out what you did. That was really, I think it was really well done with breaking the heart, and yeah, and like throwing the axe down at my feet, pointing out that technicality. That was wonderful. And then hearing Sir Granit kind of like, wait a minute. So now I get to throw that whole host favor thing back in his face every time. um, but yeah, I'm really glad that the unicorn is involved. I feel like Mads just created the perfect dilemma of my character wanting to get the heart, your character wanting unicorn, and of course they're at odds with one another. So we'll see what happens there. But yeah, I love that Sir Elio just wrote off after it. I've been waiting for him to do something like that. Just go pursue something of his own making. Mads, thank you for all the NPCs. Sir Bertilak was a great NPC to work with in all of the scenes. And yeah, you really made this larger than life supernatural figure human in so many ways. I really appreciated that. So yeah, I've been just enjoying it, and I really have no idea what I'm going to do next. Um, but wishes, I want to follow more of Sir Ilio and Sir Granite. I feel like we've been spending a lot of spotlight time in pursuing my character stuff, so I definitely want to follow their stories more too.
That is awesome. I mean, yeah, it was initially driven by your particular quest that you were given. And so, you and your two friends go out and, take care of it. It's fine. No, it's not. And it was wonderful. Oh my gosh. Just building upon what happened last time and then going on to just chaos, full on chaos for this episode. All of my stars were mentioned, especially the whole the technicality thing, and then just the back and forth, and then now there's some owing there, and then also on the other side as well, since you know Granite's misfortune is that Ydelles is like, well, you asked for my help and this is what I'm going to be asking you for. And then now there's also the misfortune of Ydelles being more tied to the land. So it was very easy. You guys make it so easy for me to just listen and respond to this is what's going to happen. And I welcome, if you do have an idea of how to make it worse and have misfortune fall upon your wonderful character, let me know. I am open to ideas. I am not always going to be the one saying it's going to be this, it's going to be this. I have ideas, but sometimes I love hearing more ideas because maybe your ideas are better than mine, which is great. All we're doing is driving this story forward. So, give me what you got. I play a lot of trophies, so of course I'm always going to ask for this stuff. So please feel free. And thank you for letting me mull over that particular mechanical bit, because this is bare bones to me. Not as bare bones as some more anomalous, or excuse me, kind of I'm not gonna say wispy, but it's just not as structured, belonging outside belonging. But this doesn't have as many mechanical controls on it like other PBTA games that I've seen. It's very flowing and loose with the way the narrative can be formed. And you guys are just running with that, and I love it. But every so often when we run into that whole, well, how is the order going to happen? I want to question that for my own sake because I don't run a whole hell of a lot of PBTA games. So I want to make sure that I'm giving everybody the proper chance, proper agency to be able to have a good time. And if we have to pause, rewind, and redo, that is fine too. Again, want to make sure that you guys are having the best time available with the characters that you have for this game that we are playing. Okay, so thank you very much for your patience on that side, because I'm learning too. This is the first time that I've run the game. I've played it once. So yeah, I mean, like, I welcome the chance to be able to understand how to get this right. All right. And I think you're all doing a wonderful job. So brilliant, bursting stars, things that have been already mentioned. So I'm not going to rehash them. And wishes, oh man, just to see how much trouble Sir Granit and Sir Elio get into to help their friend just be able to fulfill his quest in some way, because he can't quite do it himself. I mean, until the heart comes back on the lands, he can't do it. So, yeah.
I want to add one more thing. I don't know if if it's a star. I think it's a star. I think I'm glad that you worked out the remaining dilemmas before we started today.
Yeah.
Because I feel like there's a lot more connective tissue that we've already been drawing on.
Yeah.
So, and I'm really glad that misfortune happened with Sir Granit and Ydelles, because I get to now be peanut butter in his chocolate with his gnomes, right? Whether or not we actually play it out, my character gets to interact in his sort of space.
Yeah.
And I think that's really a richer experience too.
Yeah. There's gonna be some conversations, I'm sure, but then, like, it's got to be that whole byplay of, like, you're talking to Sir Granit, who may or may not be telling you the truth, maybe, or maybe,
as if I would ever think to lie. You do me a disservice.
Look now.
I don't know if
no, I'm talking about no. I'm talking about the gnomes being quite
gnomes.
Spicy. Okay, the gnomes are going to be hella spicy. So, are you going to actually tell him all of that? I don't think so. I mean, like, we're going to bring it down a level.
I think that there's going to be some communication cultural differences, and that we'll have to work out.
That'd be great. Be wonderful. I can't wait. And then, like, Sir Elio, following Sir Elio along to see what trouble he gets into going after the unicorn. You don't know. I don't know. So, can't wait to see what happens. So yeah, I think we did all the end of session stuff. Again, like, take a look at your dilemmas. If you want to rewrite any of or both of them, that is fine. You also have the opportunity to do that in the beginning of next session as well. And let's see how much trouble you guys get into. I can't wait. Oh my gosh. This has been a joy. I mean, like, I didn't think that I was going to be able to be able to get the vibe, but I think it's going pretty well. I think it's going pretty decently. So, thank you again for playing at my table, because this is a lot of fun. Yeah. All right. If there's nothing else, I wish you happy gaming for anything else that you're doing for this coming week until we meet again. All right. Any questions? Let me know. Yeah. Take care, guys.
All right.
Bye.
Thanks, guys.
Thank
Have
you.
a great week.
See ya.